he did better in every single county in America. I've never seen anything like this. I've never heard of anything like this. When you consider what he was up against, what they were saying about him day after day, the billions of dollars in free media, the billions of dollars in paid media, when you consider all, they weren't buying it. The American people weren't buying it. Union guys weren't buying it. White-collar guys weren't buying it. Small businessmen weren't buying it. Black men weren't buying it. Nobody was buying it. And I also understand that Donald Trump actually got 43% of the Jewish vote in New York. That's a record. The morning schmo over there at MSLSD. MSLSD really has no purpose other than to destroy. You know, I posted earlier the other day, and I was thinking about it. The worst Democrats, the worst leftists are the ones in the media. Their vile, their hate, their propaganda knows no bounds. Every now and then, they'll show a little bit of humility, a little bit of class, but it quickly passes, very quickly. They do more to undermine the greatness of this country. They do more to divide this country. They do more, I think, to use violent rhetoric, and God knows where that goes in this country, than really any other entity in this country. MSNBC, CNN, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the networks, these other publications, they are loaded with these bomb-throwing leftists. They're either snarky, they're put-down artists, or they're worse. And you can see on MSNBC, they have a conga line of people like this. On CNN, they have a conga line of people like this. In any event, as I said, every now and then they'll show that there's some level of humanity under that reptile skin that so many of them have. So let's take a look at MSLSD yesterday, with the Morning Schmo and company. Go.
I came onto the set and Willie said, hey, by the way, because we were talking about the historic nature of this sweep.
Yeah.
And Willie said, do you know, he only lost Illinois by 4 points.
4 points in
New Jersey by 5. I mean, you talk about
people don't understand this. Illinois is a dark, dark, dark blue state. Not only that, he lost Chicago by a lot less than before. In fact, he won Dade County, Florida, that hasn't been won since 1988. These are Democrat Party strongholds. He won the largest Puerto Rican community in Florida by 1%. Do you know, I'm told Puerto Rico elected a Republican governor. So much for that comedian. People aren't stupid. They see through this stuff. At least they did this time, thank God. Go ahead.
We had talked about a red wave 2 years ago that never materialized. This is I've got to say, this is the biggest red wave I've seen since Ronald Reagan's 49-state victory in 1984.
Mika doesn't look very happy. She looks like she's about to bite his head off. She's got that hawkish look, you know. Go ahead.
It seems every Republican across the country improved.
Donald Trump is on track to sweep the 7 battleground states. We still have 3 outstanding. We'll see how those go. But he did better almost everywhere. In every county where...
No. He did better in every single county in America. I've never seen anything like this. I've never heard of anything like this. When you consider what he was up against, what they were saying about him day after day, the billions of dollars in free media, the billions of dollars in paid media, when you consider all, they weren't buying it. The American people weren't buying it. Union guys weren't buying it. White-collar guys weren't buying it. Small businessmen weren't buying it. Black men weren't buying it. Nobody was buying it. And I also understand that Donald Trump actually got 43% of the Jewish vote in New York. That's a record. Now, it's not good enough by me, but that's a record. You're getting 25% of the black male vote. You're getting 43% of the Jewish vote. And by the way, you know what else spiked? The white Catholic vote spiked. Now, the white Catholic vote, many of you are white Catholics, but I'm not talking about you in particular, typically goes Democrat by a significant margin. It didn't this time. It went Trump. It went Trump. Go ahead.
The hope from the Harris campaign was that she would make up ground on Joe Biden's suburbs. Donald Trump actually did better. We'll break down some of these numbers, but the gender gap was not nearly as wide as the Harris campaign needed to be. And
so months and months of broadcast media, of cable media, going on and on about how abortion would be the definitive issue, about how there's so many women who hate Trump that they will overwhelm the system and neutralize, and worse than neutralize, anything, any new voters that Trump brings in. These women in the... Never happened. It didn't happen. These expert pollsters, these expert analysts, these people that just go on and on. Have you noticed when I do this show, I don't even quote them. Have you noticed when I do my Fox show, I want nothing to do with them? Do you know I have pollsters contacting me asking to come on my radio show, my Fox? I said, what the hell, what for? When are we going to stop getting burned by these people? And yet we have people, hosts and radio and TV, they have to live by it. They don't know what else to say. They don't know what else to do. Day in and day out, the same 12 people, the same 3 pollsters, over and over again. And in the end, they say, it's too close. I don't know. Wait a minute. 6 months of this crap? I don't know. It's a toss-up. Oh, my God. How do I get that gig? How much money are you getting to do this day in and day out? And then in the end, too close? I don't know. But it wasn't close, was it? They all got it wrong again, except I think this one guy from Atlas whatever. It doesn't matter. But I think that one guy said, no, he's ahead of 2 points, 1 point. It's very solid. And so maybe there's a couple others out there, but you got to dig hard to find them. But who cares? You get into the issues, you get into the substance, you try and explain to the American people what's going on. That's what you do with your time. Go ahead.
Latino men came out in force for Donald Trump.
Boy, what a huge difference that made. And, you know, that was really just part of the stunning outcome. I mean, America, first of all, is far more to the right than any time in our lifetimes, even going back to the Reagan years. And Donald Trump won in dominating fashion. But he did that along with other Republican candidates in the Senate races and the House races. They're likely to dominate all branches of government for the next several years. And Donald Trump not only broke out through that sort of hard ceiling of 47-48%. Think about this. He became only the second Republican to win a majority of the popular vote since 1988. In 36 years. And he did so after a week of polls, most notably Ann Seltzer's revered Des Moines Register poll.
I told you about that. By the way, why is his tongue tied? Why is he slurping his speech or whatever you call it? Joe? Anyway, so here's the thing. That Iowa poll came out. It was time to damage Trump. It was time to dispirit you. It came out over the weekend, and I said on my Fox show, and I say a lot here, too, Blaze. I say things here I don't say anywhere else because we have a special relationship here, you and me on the Blaze. That's a head fake. Ignore it. Ignore the polls. Ignore the pollsters. Ignore the analysis. Get the hell out and vote. Who cares what these people say? Who are these people? Who's Ann Seltzer in Iowa, for God's sakes? All of a sudden, Trump's losing Iowa by 3 points. What, do they think we're stupid? And so the media ran with it for 2 days to try and influence you. I remember, I think it was 2004 on radio. My man, Rich Cementa, my executive producer there. The exit polls say, this was being announced. And there I am, again, nationwide on my radio show. The exit polls say that John Kerry is winning Pennsylvania by 16 points. I'm a Pennsylvanian. I said, no, he's not. That's a lie. There's not a national candidate on the face of the earth that's going to be leading in Pennsylvania by 16 points, even if his name Ronald Reagan. And after the election, oops, that was a mistake. It's a mistake? It's stupid as hell. So here comes Ann Seltzer. Like, she's very professional. She's very well known, very highly respected. So there's a poll, I don't know if it's Emerson or somebody else, like the day before that says Trump's leading by 10 points. I think he won the state by like 13 or 14 points, by the way, give or take. If I'm wrong, who cares? But here's the point. She said Kamala was running by 3 points. Oh my God, this could be seismic. Everybody respects Ann. Who respects Ann? Who the hell is Ann? Oh, no, you don't understand. This is a big deal. You know, she got 2016 and 2020 right. Yeah, well, that's okay. She got this wrong. Iowa is a heavy Christian state, that is, people of great faith, which I happen to like, and a heavy Republican state. Kamala Harris isn't leading in Iowa by 3 points. She's barely hanging on in Philadelphia. How can she be leading? Anyway, so that was all BS. As what? It's too close. It's just, look, we've done everything we can. We've used our models. We've gone through the whole thing. We even used a Parcheesi board. It told us, yeah, it's too close. Then we played Yahtzee. We did the whole thing. We went through the whole routine. It's too close to call. And I'd rather be in Harris's shoes anyway, her high heels. I'd rather be in her high heels anyway and her pantsuit anyway. Why? Well, because she's got a little advantage. Remember, the mojo's moving in her direction. She's now able to complete sentences in a thought. We've never seen this before. In the last week, she's really been on her game. She's in the zone. She's in her lane. This was all going on. So rather than these people, quit or be fired because they've humiliated themselves, they do the same damn thing every election. It's like, I'm like the one holdout. I don't want pollsters. I don't want phony experts. I don't want any of it. I want the candidates on. I want to talk about the substance. Let's talk about immigration, bring the immigration guy, or I'll give my own statement. Remember, Sunday I did the whole show by myself. A lot of hosts can't do that. Or won't do it because they're too lazy. Or just too stupid. Let's be honest about it. No offense. I'm not pointing out anybody else. But the conga line of pollsters, doesn't that drive you nuts? It drives me nuts. It's like, oh my God. 0.2%. Okay. But it's within the margin of error. Okay, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? The next week. She's moved the needle. Okay. What is it? 4/5 of 1%. But we can't call it, it's within the 3.5%. Jesus, we're going to hear this every day? Yes, every single day.
For all this and much more, sign up for Levin TV.